और ब्रेक के बाद आपका एक बार फिर से स्वागत है और इस समय केंद्रीय मंत्री जितेंद्र सिंह IISF को संबोधित कर रहे हैं। आइए सुनते हैं।
Consider that higher priority as far as newsmakers are concerned. At that point in Lucknow I visited, there has become a very popular selfie point. Then of course the tulip which was offered at the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya is also one of their makings from Palampur. Lavender is again a story which Prime Minister has been talking about. Purple Revolution, he spoke about thrice or 4 times, both in public meetings as well as in Man Ki Baat. Their steel slag is again making history. Incidentally, it's happening in Northeast, and Northeast is the place where it has done a very wonderful performance in negotiating the difficult topographies for connectivity. Anusandhan is the other one, which Dr. Abhay was just now talking about. We had the first ever meeting. So I think there's not much to talk about and to discuss because, yes, and space, he said Chandrayaan. I'm glad the theme is so wide, beginning from Chandrayaan to Science Odyssey to Made in India and Make for World, Nari Shakti, etc., etc. So this is also going to be the year between this festival and the next festival, we would have an Indian human being in space. So that also makes it quite eventful. By the end of this year, we had thought it would happen in the next year beginning, but maybe now we are trying that before. Somnath incidentally is not here, but before the end of this year, we might have the final dress rehearsal in the form of a female robo, Vayomitra, going up in space. So once she accomplishes all the tasks, including coming back safe and being retrieved from the waters, then next year, possibly before the next festival, we'll have lot much to showcase in that regard. Also, though we had an Indian earlier also in space in 1980s, that was a Soviet mission. So, and of course, mission startup, he said, it was again this government, the Prime Minister made a clarion call from the Red Fort, Startup India from 350, you gone to almost 1.75 lakh. We are now number 3, as he was mentioning. And not only that, even the areas which were hitherto considered not very promising as far as startups is concerned, also become very potential areas for the future economic growth. One of them, for example, being space itself. We had just 1-digit space startup till the new policy was adopted. So we can talk about that also. Now space has become a very lucrative sector, both for employment and both for startups. We have nearly 300 of them. And our first generation startups are now become world class, and they have also graduated into entrepreneurs, those like Skyroot, etc. So these are upcoming areas also to generate rozgar, because you can't be providing a salaried job to every individual, but these are the areas which are going to contribute hugely. So through the medium of science, we are going to serve a larger cause of the nation and also contribute hugely to the making of the future economy. And Vigyan Bharati is our natural partner and also our interface with the society, और आपके सहयोग से हमारा जो संवाद है समाज के साथ वो भी ज़्यादा सुचारू हो जाएगा. एंड दिस ये भी एक नया प्रयोग था जो आरंभ में कुछ लोगों को लगा कि ये कितना चलना है कितना नहीं चलना, कि 2 कदम चलना 1 कदम पीछे हटना, लेकिन धीरे धीरे मैं ये सोच कर चला था कि वो बुला लेंगे मुझको, लेकिन उन्होंने बुलाया नहीं और हम चलते गए. So I am glad that we have made a good headway. It's become a very compatible partnership, because usually such experiments don't happen in government circles. लेकिन जब हम करेंगे बात whole of science, whole of government and whole of society, how else you can? And I am of the firm belief that if you have to move on to the #1 economy, it has to be an integrated march. Can't be moving separately. Even, in fact, I am not even in favor of having the demarcations between the private and the public sector. And one of the important features is that we are now going to Northeast, which has been a very priority area of this government. And Prime Minister Modi, right from day one, has been emphasizing that. And that again has a relevance when we talk of rising from number 4 to number 3 and beyond. Such areas and regions of the country which have remained either unexplored or underexplored are the ones which are going to contribute to the economy. So those regions saturate ho gaye, which have been fully exploited or explored, may not be able to contribute more because we have to add value. But these are the areas, and earlier governments possibly did not. For example, the Purple Revolution is born from Jammu and Kashmir, so huge Himalayan resources. So all these Himalayan states are going to make a contribution. The marine resources. So again, Dr. Ravi Chandran is there. The Deep Sea Mission Prime Minister spoke on 2 consecutive Independence Days. So our entire value addition is also to a large extent going to be from the Himalayan resources, from the marine resources, which are our natural resources. We've been there for centuries and centuries, but they were not attended to. And I think this is now the time to realize the young startups or the potential areas, because somewhere it got stuck that it is all about IT, because the thing started from Bengaluru and we got stuck there. But our natural resource is agriculture, our natural resource is ocean waters. And Northeast is going to be also relevant from that point of view, and 30% of your registration you have kept for Northeast, but I'm not sure that's okay. But what is more important is to have more and more of registration for others to visit Northeast. So when I first was put in the charge of Northeast, I said everybody keeps saying bring Northeast.
तो केंद्रीय मंत्री जितेंद्र सिंह को अभी आप सुन रहे थे, जो कि बता रहे थे कि IISF महोत्सव जो है वो किस तरह से संवाद में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाने वाला है,